Well, hello there, everybody. And you're gonna have to forgive me on this one. It was kind of a mistake. Well, I already did all of Act 4. Not off of camera. It was a very bad recording. I was really tired. I was really out of it. It was just kind of a nightmare. I talked about stuff I wasn't very happy with. Well, it wasn't that bad, but I actually died. Like, that was a first, okay? It was bad, but I figured I'll do something. So I'll make it up to you guys for skipping Act 4 on accident by clearing Act 4 for you and doing a little bit of fun. So Act 4 is pretty short. Actually, surprisingly, I didn't get any new gear. So from that session. Just got a couple of new things. This is mainly from doing, this is awesome. I love that this is ethereal and repair. And these too, Jesus. Oh, that's awesome. Still some pretty basic crap gear. These really aren't that impressive. They're not cool, so. Got my man RYZEN here with a steel goad. I kind of wanted that because of the deadly strike, so pretty good. Nothing too crazy on him. And of course, we got some rune words started. I can't remember which ones. I think Spirit. And no, one of these is Lore, I'm pretty sure. Lore and something else. I can't remember what. Just some basic twinking gear for other characters for later, like some magic find. Got plenty of set items here. This is a fantastic staff, especially for Sorceress. It's actually one of my favorites. And, you know, just starting up our flawed tab here. And I got 3 of these from killing Mephisto, like back to back. And all these tridents were from, and Brandistocks were from killing Mephisto. And that's pretty much it. Actually, I think this was my starting tab I started last night, but I just didn't like the footage. This was actually my own personal grind, so that Turrune's pretty good, but that's about it. So I haven't actually done anything in Act 5, so I'm not going to be doing Act 5, as tempting as it is. We're going to be doing Act 4. I did find all the waypoints, of course. There's not very many, but I'll show you guys what I was doing off camera to get most of the gear. So, this only works in single player because you're going to get the same map seed over and over. But so, I forgot to mention how I actually get lower Kurost runs. So, let me clear out this crap first and then I'll explain how those work. Because it is very important. So, lower Kurost has a very specific building setup that spawns every single time. On your map... Ugh. I'll explain why I sound so iffy, too. So, on your map, you'll see these 2, like, symmetrical, long-shaped, like, buildings. They always have chests. Now, the chests have pretty much just whatever loot, you know, whatever. But they have higher chances of spawning, like, charms. I was literally just gonna say that. Charms and runes, so... Very, very good stuff. I've also got tons of rings and amulets, so what I generally do is I go through here and I actually get entire inventory pages full of charms. So it's pretty basic. I'll actually show you guys a quick, what's his name? The main man, Mephisto run here, because I think, you know, in the video itself, I actually did kind of struggle with him, but it was pretty bad. You know, that's just neither here nor there. Okay, first of all, I should have probably mentioned this, but these vampires are the worst. They are going to be the thing that fucks you up. So, they'll follow you and just be assholes. So, you can see right now, Mephisto is actually pretty tolerable. RYZEN can't really tank him. I mean, I personally can. But yeah, Mephisto's pretty easy for me at this point. I pretty much just beat the hell out of him. I don't really have to heal very much either. So, wow, we got absolute garbage. That's fantastic, man. That is whatever. And I always do the if you don't do the chest, you're a scrub. That's all there is to it. So, pretty much, you know, I always do a Mephisto run. like set basically. I fill up 3 inventory pages worth of loot, so, and then I usually move on. It doesn't take too long, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. I wasn't really proud with the way the video sounded. It was actually 86 degrees in the house. Our AC is actually broken, so, oh boy, let me take a drink here. So, yes, our AC was actually broken yesterday, so it was pretty awful. And they're fixing it soon, but holy shit, it was so hot. I kept, like, zoning out because it was so hot. It was awful. Anyways, I'll show you guys the stats, too. Pretty much, I had this on an O skill. I didn't really need it. Eventually later, sure, because it's a good buff, but not right now. We're using concentration. It's pretty much the same as might, except you obviously have the decrease interruption, which is great, but it's not as good as fanaticism. Fanaticism is just way better. I think I'm only getting +1 to paladin skills right now, so this is only at 11 and 18 for zeal, technically. So zeal's almost maxed. I'm very happy with how that turned out. So I also got no sleep, by the way, so if I sound really, really iffy today, it's because I had no sleep at all. Our neighbors were rumbling a fucking motorcycle, like, 8 times in less than about an hour, over and over and over. So I had, like, no sleep. The cat was throwing a tantrum like a fucking 3-month-old, yelling at me and my roommate the entire night. It was awful. And it was hot and humid and gross, so I probably have maybe had about a solid hour of sleep right now. I actually have 3 cans of Monster Energy Zero Ultra next to me. Today's video sponsor is Monster Energy. No, it's not. I actually have a pot of coffee as well downstairs. I just went shopping and got breakfast because I was like, fuck. Anyways, so I'll actually show you guys how to clear Act 4 because it is kind of a big deal. I mean, I did level up a bit, mainly in strength and vit. Kind of working mainly on strength right now to get better gear for Nightmare. But, so there isn't really much crazy stuff you miss in terms of the character developing. I think I leveled up, like, once in terms of that actual video, so, I mean, it really wasn't a big deal. It was nothing spectacular. Let's actually repair our armor, because I don't trust. I actually died like 3 times, and I'll get into that when we get into it. So I'll actually clear Act 4 as intended. So you can see I actually did clear all of the outer steps. So anyways, Act 4 is relatively easy. I'm just going to do a quick... This is probably going to be a very short video, because I want to do some Diablo farming on my own time, because I'm really tired. I'm not going to do a lot of videos today because I'm just exhausted as hell. And I have to work tomorrow, so it's going to be a time. So not fanaticism, but zeal, by the way, is taking up a lot more mana now, so I'm kind of interested in finding some mana. But our resistances are great. Poison I don't care about, lightning is great, cold is great, fire could be better, but, you know, it is what it is. So, but then again, Act 5 does give you some guaranteed buffs, like, to your character as a whole, for that whole character. So, it's pretty good. I mean, once you hit Nightmare, it's pretty much null, but for what it is, it's really good, so you can start focusing on better gear, rather than just resistances, because resistances are such a huge part of, like, Diablo 2. So, outer steps, you're gonna have to go through one area at least. Usually it's on the left or right side. I've had it spawn down, but it's very common to have the next area to the left. That's a pretty common tactic, so... Excuse me. There's not very many, what's it called here? Like, waypoints? Act 4 is remarkably short. Ooh! What's this? It's probably shitty. Yeah, I had a feeling it was Saigons. I was like, that's the only, like, really low-tier belt you're gonna find in normal. I mean, I'm sure you can find others, but it's pretty common. So, but it's good for, like, if I'm being honest, Saigons is great for an early game sorceress because it gives you life and resist, so it's pretty good. It's not fantastic, but if I remember correctly, it's also a 3-tier belt. And I'm not talking about the Blizzard thing again. Jesus Christ, I don't want to go there. It just pisses me off, that's all I'm going to say. So, Plains of Despair, you're going to farm... Sorry, not farm. You're going to try and fight Isual. I genuinely don't remember where the hell he was. I want to say he was around the middle. But, anyways. And it gives you 2 free skill points when you kill him, not... Oh, and I also did the Act 3 dungeon quest. It takes like 5 seconds. I did that off camera on my own free time a few nights ago, actually. It takes like 5 minutes. It's really short. It gives you 5 free attributes. I just pumped him into strength, so... Anyways, and it takes like 5 minutes. It's really easy. I got mine on like dungeon 2. But, yeah. So... This is where... I did explain this in the video yesterday, that I scrapped. So Paladin is great. We've seen me kicking ass, right? And this looks pretty easy as it is, but... And I said this as a forewarning before I actually went in here. So Paladin struggles with a very specific type of enemy. Specifically... Zealots in particular, and it's incredibly dangerous. So we don't see them yet. They can spawn sometimes down here, but I haven't gotten them to spawn yet. They are like a necromancer type enemy, and they're like bone warriors. I can't remember what they're actually called because they change every game cycle. I think he's up there because yep, there's Isual. He's gonna be a... To quote one of my favorite videos by the late and great Star, Isual is a big blue bastard. He does a lot of cold and he's really fast. So, this is about the same as I was yesterday. It's pretty comfortable, honestly. I have life leech, I'm not really too worried. But, yeah, after you kill him, you talk to Tyrael, and he gives you 2 free skill points, which is very, very, very good. I recommend doing every quest in Diablo 2 to make a good character. Wow, that is just shit gravy. Anywho, so Paladin struggles with actually all melee classes in particular, except Javazon, because Javazon's kind of an exception that you can work around. So, basically, how do I put this? So, do you see how I'm standing still right now and I'm swinging like 5 times in a row, right? You can imagine how detrimental that is because you're stuck in place, right? Hopefully that's a decent titty plate, come on. Yeah, get that out of there, I don't want that. Essentially, like... Paladin struggles with a very specific type of enemy, and I had a really shitty river spawn here. It's really bad. So there's a necromancer curse called, I had to think about it. I'm like, Iron Maiden, because I'm like, it's one of my favorite bands. That's the only reason I remember it. So Iron Maiden is a curse, and it causes you to take damage for damage inflicted. It's not very good for necros. It's pretty good for PvP necro, but as far as PVM, it's pretty shit. However, the game doesn't care, and they spawn that proc on you. And obviously, when I hit something, I can't just go and run away, right? It's not like a Barbarian or like a Javazon where you can just chuck shit and throw away, right? No. If I hit somebody with Iron Maiden, I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me. I'm gonna die in like a minute. It's very, very, very easy to die to Iron Maiden. It's the most dangerous, in my opinion, the most dangerous thing Paladins have to worry about as a hardcore Paladin, because it's fucking brutal. Like, you'll see it in a minute. They always have in Chaos Sanctuary the same enemies, so it's fucking brutal, man. I can't stress it enough. I'm getting really lucky in that I didn't have any of those spawn, but, because, yeah, the maggots are pretty bad. I think these are actually worse because they're just fucking annoying, and there's so many of them. Told you guys it wasn't a big deal. I'd still clear Act 4 like normal, because it's I mean, it would be really cheesy if I just used waypoints and just did that, so I figured fuck it. This is... River of Flame is pretty easy for the most part, but you can get those nasty bottlenecks like that, and it starts to become an asshole gravy train. Hopefully you guys, like, tired me. I've been awake for about an hour, so... Trying to interact with people at, like, 8 in the morning when you have had, like, less than an hour of sleep is probably... Well, I've slept more than that. I slept from, like, maybe 3 or 4 till, like, 7, but it was inconsistent sleep, so it's not really good for you. Anyways, so even these Venom Lords, they're pretty dangerous because I may have, you know, 44 in resist, but that's not very good. They still do a ton of damage, and I can't move. So when you're playing as a Zealot, it's very, 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 very important to pay attention once, like, procs start coming in from, like, other enemies, because you're locked in when you hit something, and it's very, very, very dangerous. It's almost a guaranteed death sentence if you keep wailing on shit and you don't pay attention to what you're hitting. Ooh, is that socketed? Ooh, that's not good. Never mind. I got really excited there for a second. I was like, oh, really? Is that going to be a good one? No, of course not. So, yeah, it's like... I mean, it's still pretty easy, but I died 3 times to Iron Maiden yesterday. Steve Harris just kicked the shit out of me, and he told me I was a bitch, and I cried. So, speaking of crying, I mean, I also talked about how Joey Jordison passing was really emotional on me, and I don't want to keep going there. All you gotta know, rest in peace, Joey, and fuck Blizzard. That's all you were missing from that commentary. So, yeah, it was like... Iron Maiden, and I did actually have a good rant that I like to point out here. Like, so when it comes to danger, when you're playing through as, like, a character, it really does depend on each character. Like, I will say, you know, Zealots are really good. Actually, pretty much all Paladin classes are universally really good. I don't think there's objectively a bad Paladin build. Maybe, like, Sacrificial, because it's just, you could do better. I don't have Mephisto's Soulstone anymore. All I got off of it was, like, those perfect, like, diamond and whatever. I actually had the inventory open for it. It was really shitty. I think it was, like, an L rune, too. It was really bad. Some players save those quests for later to up-tier runes, but it's... I don't know. I don't know how it works 100%. So, and then we got the... What's his name? He's the Hellforge guy. He's in here. He's an asshole. Hephasto. And he quotes some edgy shit at you, and... Yeah. So... Oh, there he is. He's fucking walking his big old glutes at me. Actually, I think I could tank him pretty well. Yeah, he's not very hard. In later difficulties, he is absolutely horrendous. Because he has that cold aura, and he will just beat the shit out of you, and it's really awful. So, all you gotta do is when you kill him the first time, and it only happens once, you pick up his hammer, and you put the soulstone on that altar over there. So, that's pretty much all that, that quest really is all about. It's not really hard. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. Fire res 14. But that lightning and cold is pretty good. I can't justify switching that out. I mean, I don't think it's even for my man RYZEN. I think he's got pretty good shit right now, too. So, anyways. Yes, Iron Maiden is scary as shit. Run for your lives. It's pretty dangerous. I don't think there's enough negative shit I can say about it, personally. But my point in the video I made yesterday was actually, that's what makes Diablo 2 a better game. I already hate Diablo 3. Oh, and by the way, this map is the same every time you do it. The River of Flame run-up is a little bit different sometimes, but the Chaos Sanctuary itself is a TC-85 or whatever area. It's always the same stuff. And same bosses, too. So, yeah, like, the best way to put it is, in, like, Diablo 3, every character is just like, ah, that sucks, ah, this enemy sucks, right? Like, Mallet Lords were annoying because they'd knock you around. The bees before patch were really fucking awful because they did a butt-fuck ton of damage. Now they're just like, whatever. If I remember correctly, they're fine now. I don't plan on playing Diablo 3 to find out. But, yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like, there was... Or, oh no, it's an arcane proc. Oh shit, now I gotta move around. Oh dear. Like... So, there was instances like that where you could totally, like, get pissed off, right? But you didn't feel like every class struggled with areas in Diablo 3, specifically. And there's no teleport inside Chaos Sanctuary. Oh shit, that's not it. That's not Iron Maiden. That's, like, reduced accuracy, that's amp damage. They cast Necro buffs, and that's how I know what they are. Amp damage isn't too bad. It's mainly for physical damage. So, you see what I'm doing right now? Do that. Don't go up close to those guys and fuck around. Watch what they're doing the entire time. And just go in carefully. So, I'll show you guys what Iron Maiden is when it happens, and I'm not going to demonstrate getting killed by it just for dramatic effect. And those Stormcasters also have a mana drain ability. So, this area is very brutal when it comes to, like, melee, or sorry, not melee, but, you know what I mean, magic class. I'm tired. This is the best time to record, because I want to make sure you guys know I did this. So, I literally can't stress it enough. This is actually how I traditionally play Act 4 every time I play Diablo 2. So, anyways, so, but for Diablo 2, class-specific issues, like, for me, as a paladin, I go, shit, this is the area where there's Iron Maiden. I'm gonna take a drink while I'm thinking. Don't fucking float around, you piece of shit. Oh shit, this could be bad. Like, when you're playing as a, like, sorceress, oh my goddamn, what is going on over there? Okay, that's Iron Maiden. That's a perfect time to demonstrate it. When you see this, do not do anything. Do not hit... Watch this. Look how much health that took off. Like, you see what I mean? I'm not kidding when I say that's the most dangerous shit in all of Diablo 2 as a paladin. It's not very common, thank fuck, but it's very brutal. It's an incredibly damaging proc. Oh, Jesus, man. You don't want to get hit with that shit at all. It's really bad in PvM, but it's really great against other things. So... Or other people, I should say. I believe that's reduced accuracy. That one right there. I can't remember. They can also cast Decrepify, which slows you down and does amp damage at the same time. That's Decrepify. Ugh. Decrepify is actually one of Necro's best curses. Like, I'd argue it's... I'm gonna get my RYZEN back. I want my RYZEN, it's lonely. Yeah, it's one of the best procs to get, because it's just... It's so good. That's all there is to it. Like, if you don't run it, it doesn't work for spell damage. I was saying earlier, it only works for, you know, melee damage. But it's great. It's a fantastic spell. Either way, amp damage is great early game. But, so, like, Gloom Wraiths? Oh, fucking hell. Gloom Wraiths, when you're playing in Hell difficulty, I think they have immunity to cold. And it's either immunity to cold or immunity to magic or something. It's fucking awful. I mean, they can get immunity to magic, I'm pretty sure, but I think it's either lightning... I want to say Gloom Wraiths are cold. These aren't Gloom Wraiths. They look like the leather cap icon, but they have, like, wings, and they're fucking awful. But yeah, this, for Sorceresses, is a shit show. Like, early game Sorceress, you struggle to get through this, because you can die so fucking fast. Barbarians, they pretty much just go, heh, whatever, and then they just hit shit. They just have to worry about Iron Maiden as well. And you notice I'm paying the fuck attention to my buff, or debuff, I should say. Yeah, man, it's very dangerous, like, for certain character types. Like Necro, oh man, Necro is a joke going through here at first, right? You're like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then Diablo spawns, and then he casts Fire Wave, and you shit yourself because you realize all your summons are dead. That's how that goes, okay? I know exactly how this goes every time. It is a fucking 50-50 gamble of how good you're gonna do against Diablo. It's really awful. So, yeah. So, break the seals, Orc. These guys aren't too bad, they just have mana burn. And I believe one of them is immune to cold, so... Oh, immune to fire, sorry. So, if you're playing through as a sorceress, this is your very first introduction to, oh shit, I gotta pay the fuck attention to everything. Great Maul! I'll take that for just some money. Anyways, and the bosses are always the same. It's the same thing with, like, fighting Bale. You don't have to kill the minions, you have to kill the main boss. That's all there is to it. Doing pretty well so far. This is actually a pretty good Chaos Sanctuary run. Chaos Sanctuary, like I said, is also a TC-85. Please don't correct me if I'm wrong. I just hope anybody who knows what I'm trying to say knows what I'm trying to say. Because, oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's Iron Maiden. Let's just go back and get our gear repaired while that's running its course. So, like, basically, Chaos Sanctuary and, Bale, like, the Throne of Bale, those are all... Oh, sorry, the Throne of Destruction. I gotta say it correctly. Those areas are the highest loot values in the game. So, oh shit, this is why Iron Maiden sucks. It's really, really annoying. It makes you have to pay the fuck attention. That's why it's a really dangerous, like, skill. You can see what I mean, right? But yeah, it's very crucial that if you're gonna get good items, you know where to look. Oh, this is just gravy. Come on now. Don't change it. Don't fucking change it. You can only be cursed with one type of curse at a time. Thank God. But, I believe that's reduced defense. I don't know specifically. I just know it's not Iron Maiden and I don't care. So, the next sigil we're gonna break is gonna have the Doom Knight spawn variation. They're not too bad, but they, like I said, they can cast Decrepify, they can cast all sorts of nasty shit you don't want to get hit by. These guys in Hell difficulty are awful, because they can spawn, like, not quadruple, I'm exaggerating. They can spawn triple immunity, and it's really just not fun. I can't stress it enough, you do not want to have the wrong skills when you get to this in, like, later difficulties. RYZEN is just getting face fucked. I feel so bad for him. He's such a dude, but he's not a dude bro. I like his enthusiasm, though. He's always quick on the feet, but not quick on the draw. I haven't really found a better weapon for him. I've been trying to, like, alternate here and there, but I just can't seem to get any good gear for him. But it's almost the end of the game anyway, so he's... I mean, I'm gonna swap him out for Nightmare Act 2, Cold, so... It's... RYZEN, hopefully I can find your twin. I want to keep the tradition of having RYZEN. He's my man. What was I saying? Oh. So, yeah, if you want to get good items, you can also see just how quickly I've generated a shit ton of XP just from clearing Act 4. So, a very common get the fuck out of here. Do not stay in this area. Like, I swear to God, if you stand still in here, you're gonna die. It's that quick. These guys are fast, and they do a shit ton of damage, and since I'm a zealot, if I make one mistake, I'm gonna get killed. Jesus. So, yeah, these guys killed me in my first playthrough of this area. It was awful. All you gotta... Jesus. Okay, you can see why I was saying earlier, Zealot's not so easy when you start getting into the nitty-gritty. It's not as just hit shit and pray. It's a lot of tactic after a while. So that means Diablo spawned. Not even death can save you from me. So, this is the cool moment we've all been waiting for.
Death can save you from me.
Ah! He just teleported in with ghastly monster magic. Anyways, so his lightning attack I can tank, but do not do that. I swear to God, if you do this at, like, what I'm doing right now in any other difficulty, you will die so quickly, it's not even funny. It also helps I have, like, max lightning res, but don't do that. Just don't do what I'm doing, okay? That's suicide in any other playthrough. Basically, that right there, that attack is how you shit yourself as Necro. It's the best feeling ever because you go, oh shit. It's like the worst and funniest thing ever your first time playing. It's just awful. But yeah, you can see Zealot's really strong. Zealot really does, like, take care of business. And this is, like I said, I haven't gotten any Diablo-specific items yet, like from killing him. This is just straight up what I was using to kill Mephisto a while ago, so... And he should be dead. Well... Ooh. Yeah, fuck that, I don't want that. Let's give that to my man.
Impossible.
You're impossible. Fuck you. I don't really need the stag bow. I don't think it's gonna be pretty good. Let's get RYZEN in this business. Let's give him in the party. Yeah, let's get him in there. Alright, Decker Kane, let's see what we got from killing Diablo. And, let's see. Wow, that's really shit for me. Lightning res. Oh, that's got fire. Oh, level 27. I'd say that's actually a really good, Boazon thing if I wanted to make an early game Boazon, but that's a little too high up there for early game. I mean, it's good. I'm not keeping it. I'm just putting it in here to sell later. But let's see. Oh shit! Wow, that's, man, fucking happy birthday, RYZEN. Wow. Pain Skewer. That's a fucking name. I mean, I hope that's better than what RYZEN's got, but I don't think it is. I think he might be a bit better off with what he's got.
Put that to good use. Put that to good use. Put that to good use.
It's just barely better.
Put that to good use.
I know it looks like it's not, but it is. I mean, his resistances are pretty good. Actually, let's put that in the tab. That's gonna drive me crazy if I don't. Like, it's not bad. I really do want RYZEN to have some better resists, but like I said, he's not gonna last all the way through the game. He's gonna get replaced in Act 2, Nightmare, so... We're gonna have to say goodbye to him eventually. But yeah, we'll level up one more time, and, yeah. So that's pretty much Act 4. I've only done this for 30 minutes, so I figured let's do... I'll show you guys actually how I generally just sort of run things through, so let's do one more Chaos Sanctuary run, just to show you guys what I'm talking about, because I'm going to be doing this for a while. Actually, let's get some more scrolls, too, in the other book. Yeah, I just generally stock up before I go in there. It's not really... I mean, once you start hitting higher difficulties, this becomes irrelevant. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Did I already kill Mephisto? Yeah, I already killed Mephisto. But you can see I've already got Haragoth unlocked. It's pretty good. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a sip and... Okay, that wasn't a sip, that was the whole can after a while. But, you know. I don't really think I want to farm Isual, so... I never really do. That was a voice crack from hell. I never really do. Ooh. Oh, hell yeah! Anyways, I think River of Flame is also a TC-85 area. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly, but what I'm trying to say is it's the highest treasure in the game, value-wise, you can get. So, Forgive me if I say it wrong. Hey, actually, we'll be level 30 in this video. That's pretty cool. You guys get to see me hit a milestone. Awesome. That's a pretty actually important shit. You know, that's like you... I don't know. I'm tired. I'm basically functionally drunk right now. Those of you that are curious, I don't drink either. I've never drank in my entire life. I have no interest in doing it. I also have a very alcoholic side of my family. And also, I have like 90% German on one side. Okay, that's not fair. It's like, if my family composition's anything, it's like 50% German, and then like 50% 100% Choctaw, and like, I think mostly Cherokee. So, my genetics are not in the favor of people that drink. On one side, I should say, right? Oh, stereotypes, you never are not funny. So yeah, I actually can't drink. I also take, Paxil, so I can't drink either, even if I wanted to. It would fuck my liver up. So, I don't drink. I also don't smoke weed, either. I've never smoked weed in my life. I have no desire to do it. I find it kind of useless. I just don't get the point. I mean, you get high. I mean, that's cool, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and talk politics about my standpoints on the pot right now on YouTube. While farming Chaos Sanctuary in Diablo 2 after like 3 hours of sleep. You know, it just shits me. I will say this, it does piss me off to see areas I grew up with just turn into dispensaries. There's actually, in Oregon, it's actually very, very, very common to see this. There'll be like 3 to 4 dispensaries within like walking distance of each other, and sometimes just literally in the same building square. It's very common, and it just makes me kind of pissed off. I'm like, that could be a car repair. That could be like, you know, anything else. But no, we gotta get to the pot. I don't know. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I know most people would probably assume because I live in Oregon, I'm a big old hippy dippy and I smoke the weed. But no, I'm not. I am not of the stoner variety. And you might be like, oh, but you go to concerts and shit. You know what I do? I just say, nah, man, if they pass me a blunt, I just say, nah, man, just save it for someone who wants it. Or they pass some whiskey around, and I'm like, nah, take a double shot on me, man. And you know what's funny? No one ever gets bitchy. And if they ask me if I'm sober, they just say, oh, good on you, man. No one ever makes a big fucking deal out of it, and neither should you. So, plus, I usually end up being a designated driver, so that's always a very good plus. I can't tell you how many times I've been the designated driver. At least 20. So, or actually being the only person sober and remembering some of the insane shit that goes on. Like, oh, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there. Some of these things I've vowed to, not talk about for their own confidentiality, so I'm a respectable gentleman, so I'm not going to say. Damn it, man, I wish that was poison. That would have been, or not poison, but I wish that was fire. That'd be pretty fire, man. That'd be pretty fucking lit, fam. Oh, yeah, you can hear the energy coming back in my voice now, can't you? After I've had, like, an entire energy drink. I know people will go, oh, but you drink energy drinks. I don't really drink energy drinks ever. These were just on sale 3 for, like, 2 something, so I got them. I don't drink energy drinks as a rule of thumb because I don't really find them useful. That's the dude that kept me awake. The window's closed right now. I fucking called the management on them. They were pissing me the fuck off. Anyways. Enough of me being a fucking Kevin here. Kevin's my dad's name, actually. Actually, can you hear why that's really annoying? Like, when you're trying to sleep and then you hear that over and over. Fanaticism! Yay! It's so good. It's so good. It really is. Did I put it on the right proc? No. There we go. And now we got fanaticism! Everybody knows what this looks like, because it's really good. It's the bomb. Yes. Yes! Yes! Oh, I'm so excited. I love fanaticism. It's great. Anyways, yeah, I'm a very vanilla-y boring person. I don't smoke the pot, I don't drink the things. I never even smoked cigarettes. I also have asthma, so I technically couldn't even do that if I wanted to. I would probably die. And I also have a compulsive personality. Oh, and that's what I was gonna bitch about. I was gonna say, if you're one of those people that's like, oh, you drink caffeine, caffeine's a drug. Dog, caffeine has a purpose. And it's not... I don't even have a caffeine addiction. I know that's what usually people say, but... I don't know. I might have told this story before. When I was in high school, my first girlfriend I ever had, she was a stoner and a smoker. And she, like, just didn't like it very much after a while, and then she noticed it upset me kind of because it made me feel like I wasn't making her happy or something, you know? And so she actually tried to quit, and she said, oh, you don't know what it's like because you don't smoke, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. But I said, alright, I'll tell you what, because I'm such a gent, I'll actually try and give up caffeine for 2 weeks, because I said if you can do it for 2 weeks, it's a good start. That's actually a true thing. If you can stop something for 2 weeks, it's a good idea. But yeah, she couldn't do it. She lasted maybe like 3 days. I actually went the full 2 weeks just out of obligation, and it sucked. I had a massive headache. But I don't know, man. Caffeine's not the same as THC. That's a big difference. Like, that is a very big difference. So don't try to argue with me. I don't care if you smoke weed. It doesn't matter to me. You do what you do, man. I do what I do. That's the way life works. That's what makes us all people, right? I don't care what people do. I just wish people would, like, realize if someone has an opposing viewpoint, that doesn't mean they hate you, that doesn't mean they dislike you. It doesn't mean anything. It just means they don't agree, and that they might have a differing opinion. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, if anything. Because if we all thought the same, wouldn't life be really fucking boring? Oh, look at me getting all metatextual here. But it's true. I mean, it's important to have differing opinions, because it might change your own. I don't know, I used to be very much like, as a kid, I was like, oh, I would love to drink, and then I realized I technically can't do it at all. So... oh, fucking Iron Maiden, piece of shit. But yeah, caffeine is not the same. Don't try to go there. If anything, I think alcohol is the worst shit for your entire body, so if you're gonna think I have ultra conservative whatever views or something because I don't like pot, it's like, no, I just don't see it as pointful. Like, I just don't see the use. That's all there is to it. It's like, oh, I can't sleep, then take sleep aid. Oh, I got pain, take painkillers. Take aspirin. I don't know. That's like, there's just so many more options. That's probably why I view it as objectively not as important. I'm not against it, as like a substance, but if you took out the smoking the weed part in front of friends, people would not want to do it. So there's my stance. But like, yeah, I think alcohol is the worst shit you can do to yourself. Like, that's just... the body doesn't even fucking process it. It actually thinks it's being poisoned. You could actually die from fucking alcohol withdrawal. And plus, my great-grandmother died at like 60 from cirrhosis because she was... fuck. She was fuck, yes. That was my own fault. I should not have tried that. That right there was a valid death. I was like, this isn't gonna work. And then I kept doing it anyways. But yeah, she died of cirrhosis at 60, and she actually had like dementia and shit from it. It was really awful. But that's also, like I said, if you're not aware, a lot of native tribes, because she was like 100% Choctaw, like, most of my family is actually Polynesian and, like, German and Choctaw, so, like, it's a really weird thing for people that look at my family. They're like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, we're a bit weird. We're a mess sometimes. We don't look like we all even belong with each other. But, like... it's funny because, yeah, she died of, she actually never knew my name, like, most of the time. She called it, like, Billy or something, I'm pretty sure. Like, she just genuinely could not remember my name, and she only remembered my name when she was dying. I actually got to see her the day before she died in her bed. It was really sad, and she actually remembered my name, so... I don't know, that moment kind of changed my mind of... because I was like, I want to be cool like my dad and drink a beer with his friends, and then that just sort of, like... soured the entire perception for me. So yeah, I mean that's just my stance. I don't think it's personally bad to drink. It's just I don't see the point either. I'm like, people always like, I want to see you drunk. I'm like, why? What is so exciting about me drunk? Like, why does everybody want to see me unhinged? Like, is that like, oh my god, dude, you want to fucking really see me go like 10 feet under and go on like depressive manic bullshit? Like, I do that enough sober. I don't need to do that high or drunk. Oh, that's pretty shitty. Wow. I want to see if that's a good, I do need to get money back. That's why I'm taking some of this gear, so... that's probably really shitty. But yeah, there I go with my... There. I didn't talk about Blizzard this time. I talked about depressing life. I'm very good at that. That's pretty bad. You know, that's not terrible. I'll add that. You know, it's got like 2 procs on it. I'll take it. It's not the worst shit ever. Like, it's cold res. It's not really hurting me, honestly. It didn't get anything really good from these past couple runs, but that's okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Let's do a Mephisto run before we go. Actually, let's clear all the act bosses, because I usually do that. Just because. Actually, yeah, this is gonna be really funny with fanaticism on, honestly. Fucking hitting like 1,000 goddamn miles an hour here. But yeah, I don't drink. I don't care if you do, personally. You shouldn't care what I think about what you think, because that's irrelevant, really. You see, this is the magic. People assume I'm a big ol' hippy-dippy, and then I... Well, actually, for the most part, I sound like a giant hippie, but I'm actually more nihilistic than anything. I don't really care what people do with their time. As long as you're not... Actually, I believe in the very basic principle that a lot of pagan... and yes, some... Like, a handful of my family is practicing paganists, but not very many. You know, it's that basic principle. Do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Like, that's how I kind of live my life anyway, so I don't really care. Like, if you want to go out and you want to practice the black magic, go for it, man. I don't give a shit what you do. If you want to go out and spray paint penises on the wall, go for it, man. I don't advise it, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it's a waste of your time. So, yeah, I don't usually care what people do. As long as it doesn't affect other people, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But if you spray paint on top of somebody's face, that's not cool. You shouldn't do that. You know, I generally don't really like to tell... I believe in a very basic mantra for my own life, and this is so odd, but... Ooh! 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 It's gonna be the same one, isn't it? I guarantee... Oh, it's ethereal. This is already really shitty. It's gonna be the same. Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Uh-huh. Mmm. Fucking hell. It's always gotta be something like that, isn't it? That's just not cool, man. But yeah, I don't care what people do. Like, as long as you don't affect me or try and push agenda, I don't really care. Like, I have limits, obviously, just like everybody else. Like, if someone just is gonna sit there and tell me that I'm a bad person because I eat meat, I generally just ignore everything they're saying and tell them, you know what, man, I don't really care. That's all you gotta do. Don't argue with those kinds of people. Don't fucking try to tell them they're wrong. Just tell them, you know what, man, I don't really care. And at that point, they really don't know what to do. That's the one thing I've learned in life. If you tell them you don't really care, and then you just kind of tone them out, they only hurt you if you let them. That's a very basic message to go with, you know? I mean, if someone's gonna sit there and just tell you you're a bad person because you eat meat, that doesn't mean all vegetarians think that way either. I used to be a vegetarian for like almost a decade, dude. I didn't bash on people for eating meat. Hell, I didn't even care if they did. And I Shit, dude, tonight I'm gonna make fucking mushroom and tofu stew with, like, some rice, and... Actually, no, I'm gonna make tacos, because I took out, like, some turkey a while ago, and I need to use it. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking... It doesn't hurt to eat healthy, but you can also eat tofu and not be a vegetarian and still like it. I love tofu. Tofu is great. You just gotta cook it properly. There's no getting around the texture. That's the break point, I think, for most people. Am I going the wrong way? God damn it, I am. I'm going the wrong way. But yeah, all you gotta say is that someone's like, fucking animals die in cages. It's just to say, you know, man, that's really nice. I understand your frustration, but I really don't care. And that's all you gotta say. And at that point, or just say, I don't care what you think. It's like when someone is trying to say, like, crazy religious bullshit to you. I'm pretty faithful myself, but I don't push agenda, I don't push, like, anything on people either. Like, because it's all internal, I don't give a shit what other people think. If someone's like, oh, you're a bad person because you had sex before you were married. Well, technically, yeah, but, you know, it's like, just tell them, you know what, man, I'm glad you're concerned, but that's sort of my own issue and not your own. And then they just stop. It's that easy. It's really quite simple to just not engage with people that are, like, either deranged or just fucking have nothing better to do except yell at other people. Like, just ignore them. That's the best thing you can do, because as soon as you give them attention, they're gonna think, that works, I'm getting attention, yes! Oh, I'm pissing them off, I'm gonna complain about them on the internet. Like, that's what they do, man. That's what they thrive on. That's what they're gonna get you with. And then they're gonna tell everybody that they know in their shitty group. They're gonna be like, oh, I got this one dude at, like, JCPenney. I haven't shopped at JCPenney in, like, 20 years, but they're gonna be like, oh, I got this guy at JCPenney. I made him say I was an asshole. Like, you can retaliate if they're being rude, I think. That's pretty fair. But, like, for the most part, it's not really important. Like, if they're just gonna be like, oh, you're a bad person, oh, you're... As long as they don't get physically confrontational, I generally ignore a lot of stupid shit people do. Like, if someone's, like, holding up a sign that says, abortion is murder, and you're against abortion, that's cool. But if, like... Also, if it's a man holding it up, I also feel like that's a bit of a stupid idea, because it's like, dude, you're a guy. You don't even have the effect of it. But, like, as long as they don't come up to you and be like, what do you think? Then that's your ability to start stating your opinion. But, in my opinion, I don't really care. I'm like, sure, man, do whatever, I don't care. But if someone's pushing, like, the sign in my face with a picture of a dead baby on it, I'm gonna just start saying, alright, man, fuck off. Like, that's where I start getting annoyed. Because it's like, it's just, consider other people's views, and don't worry about their views. Like, I can't stand in this day and age that people just act like their views are their only objective personality trait, and it's really fucking irritating. Because they make the actual people that support those issues incredibly, like, toxic seeming or something like that. Like, it's like people used to say SJW as a pejorative, and I'm like, yeah, it's because people got tired of hearing people basically guilt others or just spout bullshit at people and make them angry on purpose or follow them around. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I've actually been in protest before. I've held picket signs, I've done stuff like that. But you know what I never did? I never approached anybody, I never blocked traffic, I never did anything like that. This was years ago. But, like, I mean, when I was in high school. And, I never told anybody they were bad. I just stood there and said, this is what's going on. I was like, support, like, your gay kids in your school. Go for it, man. Like, if that doesn't mean, like, bash people for having different opinions. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, if someone... But you're straight. Oh, no. It's like, just let people do their thing. Here's the magic of also... I'm not saying this is how I feel, but it's true, is like, if you engage with the other side, and when it's a rational argument, I should say, when it's a realistic, actual, genuine argument, like, I don't know, someone is petitioning to sign a thing to change the speed limit because the speed limit is genuinely too high, there's too many children, and they want to turn it into a 25 over a 35. That's a rational thing, right? That's an everyday occurrence, okay? So, if you say, Like, if you just run up to someone with a picture of a dead kid, like, mangled underneath a car, and you just say, "This is what the neighborhood's gonna be," no one's gonna listen to you. And if you say it with, like, some dignity and some elegance, and you get your point across, the other side won't demonize you because they'll have a better understanding to make you stop complaining. Actually, one thing I can say from my own personal experience recently was I helped get a sign that was a 4-hour parking sign because there was too many vagrants and just shitty people wandering around where I work. And the entire area was being basically overrun with homeless people. Guess what? I talked to city council, I talked to people in, like, our HR department to get something done about it, and it got done. And there was opposition, surprisingly, at my own job, too, where, oh, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I actually had to say, okay, what if one of them... There was someone street racing in, like, a public area where there's, like, tons of people. Like, does that really seem safe to you? Do you really think that, like... There was extremes, but it was also because we had complaints about it, we had, like, just issues up the ass from it, so... Like, when I said, and I quote, it was something like, okay, so would you park your car on the side of the street and leave it there overnight? Almost every time someone would say, no. And I'm like, now you see my point. Like, that's how you actually argue. You don't just stand there and say you're a bad person because you don't agree. So, it's probably a generational problem. A lot of my generation just doesn't understand how the fuck to, you know, protest properly. Like, if you listen to the other side, and if it's reasonable, that's all I gotta say. If someone is like, fucking ban carbon emission because carbon emission controls you, no, ignore that person, don't give them the time of day, they're probably fucking lunatic. Or on drugs, or all the above. It's like, yeah man, don't support, don't even engage, like, at that point. I sound like I'm fucking talking about Star Trek here. But it's like, yeah, at that point, they're just human spam, and you have no business talking to them and giving them the time of day. Like, there's just some shit that, in my opinion, is just completely worthless to argue about. But if you can at least see what they're talking about, and you understand where they're coming from, at least to a degree, if it's reasonable, that's all I gotta say. If it's reasonable, don't listen to other people about what's considered reasonable, use your own gut. That's the most important thing. It's like, if you do that, then the other side starts to seem less psychotic, I guess. But it's all dependent on how it's handled, I guess. Like, if you just scream defund the police without a reason, of course people are going to say, well, why? And you just say, because, and then you get really quiet because you don't know what to do afterwards. You didn't think you'd get that far. Like, a good argument can be seen from both sides. A bad argument is just someone yelling at each other and not doing anything. Yelling is really kind of pointless, too. I mean, it has its place, but you really don't need to yell at people. Because in all the end of the day, your own viewpoints are what you see the world from, so why try to preach it to other people because they don't give a shit? Like, it's like trying to change someone who's a literal 120% racist. You're not going to change their point of view. Just laugh at them. Like, call them stupid. That's all I do. I just call them fucking idiots, and then other things I can't say on here. And just make them feel like garbage. Because it's like, yeah, sure, that's a great idea, man. And I just patronize them and get their hopes up. And then I just shut them right the fuck down. Because that guilt is how you change the other side. That's the whole thing. If you make them realize they're guilty and they're unchangeable and psychotic, then you don't have to yell at them and waste your time and energy. Just make them feel bad. It's easy to do. It's not a hard thing. Oh, a Bardiche! Alright, maybe we got RYZEN a birthday present. Who knows? Hopefully I can stop talking about politics and shit, right? That would be cool. But unfortunately, that's the world. 54? You know? Let's see where RYZEN would be at if we handed him this bad boy. It does give him less defense, but I'm not really worried about defense. You know, it's only like 6 less damage.
Put that to good use. 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 Put that to good use.
It's not really worth it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not really worth it. But, alright, I think I've waxed lyrical and given you guys enough content for Act 4 and then some to, yeah, I gotta piss, so I'm gonna go pass out and play RuneScape and pass out. See ya.